single page is my inspiration for today's layout. The collection is 4 seasons from the Close to My Heart Core Catalogue 2023. It's Nicola here from Creative Aussie, and first I'm going to make a reusable template. This 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, I'm cutting 1 inch off either side so that it will sit 1/2 inch all round. My first diagonal line, which would work better if I had a ruler that went all the way across, but I don't, so I'm just improvising. I've gone through the center first, and then I've gone 1/8 below and above it. That means that I'll have 1/4 inch in there afterwards. Now my ruler measures 1.5 inches, so I've decided to use that as my width. So there's my second piece. Then I rule the other 1/4 inch line. Just having a look to see if the proportions are going to work. So again, I use the width of my ruler, another 1/4 inch line, and I'm numbering that 1 to 3. Below, I've decided to make this one 2 inches. So I've drawn that in. Now I'm measuring, and now I'm doing the 1/4 inch again. This one's back to 1.5 inch. There's my 1/4 inch, and I'm writing these 4, 5, and 6 numbers. So now I can cut that off. Now I'm using my trimmer and I'm cutting the shortest pieces first. I'm following my pencil lines, and see, I go to the other end because I'm just doing those shortest pieces. There's my 1/4 inch piece taken off, flip it around, get that in. As long as it fits the trimmer, you're fine. So I've got that last one. Now this last piece, or the last 2 pieces, apart from this 1/4 inch here, I realise I can't fit it in my trimmer, so I like to use a long pair of scissors to hand cut these out. Sorry, I meant long bladed scissors for this type of work. It might seem like extra work. Oh, and that's what it looks like. Now I cut what I need for the template. I've already chosen the paper collection, so any pages out of that will work. Here I've put pencil mark on each corner for my measurement, putting it in my trimmer, cutting that piece out. Now the floral one. So I put pencil marks on there. I'm going to put pencil marks on here, and then I think, oh, I might show you that this actually measures the same as the ruler, so I don't actually have to use a template. I could just use the ruler. So I cut the first piece, and I'm going to place them where they belong. So that would be number 1, that would be number 6, and I'm just going to use the width of the ruler, because every time you put a pencil mark you could be making it a little bit wider, but it will work out exactly the same. Or when you put it in the trimmer, there are marks on there, so that's that 1.5 inches anyway. I guess it just remembers when you depends on when you made the template, and if you remember how much everything measures. So this one was a bit longer. I think I cut 1/4 inch off there. It matches, so I place that in the right spot. This smaller dotted piece of paper, which I'm not sure if you can see on screen, when I put the template in place, I realise there's quite a bit that needs cutting off. But instead of doing the strip first, which won't fit in the trim, I decide to cut the excess off first. Once I've done that, it's now the right length to go in my trimmer. So again, I can just use that 1.5 mark on my trimmer and then measure how much I need to cut off. Now this green piece is the one I decided to do a bit wider, so I think it was 2 inches, but I'm not chancing it, so I'm using my template. I've put the pencil marks in, and I'm cutting out the bit I can on my trimmer, and the piece that's too long, or the line that's too long, again I'm using my long scissors so that they're easier to cut out. And voila. Now I've got 1 piece left, so I'm up to the stage of bringing in my refill, and I'm going to rub out what I allocate to that page. Now I can start placing the pieces where I want them, and because I've numbered them, that makes it nice and easy, and it's also 1/2 inch all the way round. Putting those on, they look really great. So what would look good in here is this wood look that came out of the same paper. Yeah, that's going to look great. So I'm just checking it fits, and yep, see, look, that you just got to make sure it fits. So again, have to cut out on the pencil line, and I'm using my template and realize it's way too long, so I'm using my guillotine trimmer here just because I think it's more accurate, and I like using it better for smaller pieces. So once I get that cut, I decide that I'd like to edge all the pieces that have got white in the background so that I can get it to stand out a bit more. So I just quickly do this here, and I adhere it all down off screen. You don't need to watch me do all of it, and I'm really happy with that. So now I'm going to place the photos down, and you'll notice they're not the same size as the illustration or the one I'm copying, but that's okay, I can tweak it. And see, I've got a matte and a background, but I'm using my zip strip to see what colours are in this collection so I can use cardstock, and I'm thinking Bluebird was on here. Let me have a look. It will match the photos I haven't got on here for privacy reasons because there's quite a lot of blue, and placing them on here I think, oh yeah, that looks really nice. So yep, I'm going to go with that. And that bit around the back there, at first I was trying a pattern, but then I decided on just plain white. I cut that down to what I think will fit, and oh, voila, yes, that's fabulous. And now I'm going to lay down the blue underneath. So I only want 1/4 inch all the way around, or sorry, 1/8 inch all the way around. So I do this the same way as I cut my photos, which I've shown on previous videos, where I just do two sides, 1/4 inch, and by the time I center it, it will be 1/8. So I'm also decided I want to gut it, so I take 3/4 inch off around for two reasons. One, it's easier for me to use on my trimmer, but secondly, it gives me enough space to stick everything down. So I just eyeball it. Now pop the white back on there. Yep, it looks great. I choose the colour for the journaling background, cut those two dies off screen. The second one's LAGOON. Now I bring in the wax paper to look at my stickers. I've got some banners here that I like the colours of. I'm choosing pieces, but I need an extra piece there, and I remember I cut that little bit off the edge there. I'll just trim that down a little bit narrower, and then once I've done that, I'm going to dovetail it. So I get my micro tip scissors, cut straight across, go through the centre and do into each corner. Yep, that's going to look nice. That last one's a sticker, pop that back on top. Beautiful. So now going down to the bottom, I can add some colours. Now off screen I've put 3 journaling strips there. They are centimetre wide, or 3/8, and I'm just straightening them and trimming them back a bit, and I'm going to journal. Now this page, you'll notice I haven't done a title. That was a picture of me on New Year's Day working, so I've just done that in an archival permanent pen. To finish that off, I've popping a sticker down there. I'm going to pop the date on there. So thanks for watching. I'm just going to fiddle around with all my trims here. I'm really happy with the end result. See, I just changed my mind a little bit, clean it up. These are the close-ups. I hope you have enjoyed watching. I hope that this has inspired you, and that we will see this template being used again. Also underneath there will be the information under more. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more. thank you again for watching. Welcome to my channel if this is your first time. Hopefully we will see you again soon, and that I've given you some inspiration. You may also would like to subscribe and watch an older clip that is highlighted here. Bye for now.